gas station. It's now called Destinations, a restaurant. Right off Route 66. And they're open. Yay! Wish gas was still 87 cents.
This place had such fun, eclectic decor. I just loved it. Such a great place with a great vibe. Unfortunately, I have to mute a lot here because they are playing fantastic copyrighted music. They had a great selection of items on their menu, different items than you normally see at a restaurant, so I liked that a lot. I selected the rooster, grilled chicken breast, bacon, pepper jack cheese, grilled onions, barbecue, and ranch dressing. It was really messy, so I did opt to use a knife and fork instead of picking it up. It was really flavorful, really delicious. Liked the sandwich a lot. The fries, they could have been better. At Destinations, you have a view of people coming and going on Route 66. Next stop is, I think, one of the coolest places on Route 66 in Oklahoma. Route 66 Bowl is more than just bowling. It's where the spirit of classic Americana meets fun entertainment. There's a cafe with a wide variety of tasty options, from salads, burgers, pizza, to yummy desserts. Route 66 Bowl has putt-putt, arcade games, laser tag, and of course, there is bowling. This is a great stop for all ages when traveling Route 66 in Oklahoma. After the Route 66 Bowl, I headed to my next destination.
When you're in Chandler, make sure you visit the Route 66 Interpretive Center. It's in an old armory building. National Guard Armory, Chandler, Oklahoma. Built by the Works Progress Administration, 1936-1937. Placed on the National Register of Historic Places, 1991. By United States Department of the Interior, Lincoln County Historical Society, 1998.
The Route 66 Interpretive Center takes travelers on a nostalgic drive from the 1920s to the present day to help keep Route 66 alive. Sign the guest book, use the restroom, visit the gift shop. There's a small fee if you'd like to indulge in the full visitor's experience at this site. Plus, you can reserve the full building for weddings and special events. I will link their website information in the description box. One time I showed up here and there was a classic car show going on. How lucky was I? Pretty lucky in my book.
You get to put a pin where you're from. This is the Oklahoma side and the world side. Look how many visitors they've had from all over the world. Wow.
By the same man that designed the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial Museum.
Oh, wow.
He designed this room here for us. 66, so you can read special points of interest.
I'm about to lay down and watch some videos on their iPad. How neat is this? I might fall asleep.
Travelers can lay back, relax, and watch some short videos on the history and sights of Route 66, including the glow of the fabulous neon lights.
There's Mr. Avery, father of Route 66. Went to his grave recently when I was in Tulsa. She said these are Mustang seats. Maybe you've been to a lot of these locations. Round Barn in Arcadia. The Blue Whale in Catoosa, obviously. I think that's the Pryor Creek Bridge. I've not been there yet, but it's on my list. Very cool. That's in Bristow, Oklahoma at the train depot.
I've always admired and liked that Chandler is a big proponent for maintaining their history.
It's pretty. If you want to live in Chandler, Oklahoma, it's a pretty building. Cute houses. Ooh, look at this church. First Presbyterian Church. It's a cute building. I think that was the WPA, maybe the National Guard building, maybe? Steps restored by the Patches Club, 1965. Pathway to 8th and Main Streets, 148 steps circa 1909. Restored by Boy Scout Troop 111. Eagle Project of Ashell King, 1997. I don't think I'm gonna do all those stairs. It's too hot. I'm not climbing on this. I'm not going as far as City. I'm so out of shape. This is known as the Silk Stocking Row. The women who lived up there in those fine homes, they could afford real fine silk stockings. This would be good training for the incline. There's somebody's nice house up there. Somebody's nice house. Looks like a pool. I wanted to let me in. I'm not going to the top. I said I wasn't going to the top, but I'm pretty much there. I made it to the top. Not bad to my graffiti did. Can you see the pool? Looks so inviting. Whew. Now I have to go back down because my car's down there. Can't believe I walked all the way up there, but I did. Hey, me. Never been so happy to see my car. Yay! Just got back to my car. It is super hot, chilling in the air for a minute. Did notice some more stairs. Should I go up some more stairs? Should I? My car says 95. I'm sure that's just the internal temperature, but outside it's in the mid 90s. Super hot. So let's go up some more stairs. Oklahoma National Guard Statistical Building, built in 1909 for annual training encampments. This property has been placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the United States Department of the Interior, 1999. More stairs, and those look scary. Ugh. Those don't look safe at all. Ugh. Definitely broken ones. They're very steep. Ooh. I don't know if this was a good idea. I have dumb ideas from time to time. This might be one of them. Ugh. I'm going to put the phone away to get up this last part. I made it to the top.
In 1909, the Oklahoma National Guard built the State Camp and Maneuver Grounds and Rifle Range in Chandler, becoming the first permanent structures for the Guard in Oklahoma. It consisted of a 1,200-yard rifle range, a statistical house, a bathhouse, a warehouse to store the Guard's equipment, and a stairway up the hill to the warehouse. The Guard's 1909 encampment was held on those grounds and every year afterwards up until 1916.
Nice little city park. Playground over there. Nice picnic tables and grills. A nice gazebo over there. Welcome to the Story Path, connecting children's literature with health and wellness at Tickman Park. The Story Walk project was created by Ann Ferguson of Montpelier, Vermont, and developed in collaboration with the Vermont Bicycle and Pedestrian Coalition and the Kellogg Hubbard Library. How cool. Look at these pretty flowers. The Mighty McCracken. Storybook walk. There's also a QR code. Are you ready for a storybook walk? It is hard to read. It's a nice idea to keep kids active and reading.
I love that Chandler has lots of murals. They have the old historic buildings, which are directly on Route 66. And I love the old ghost signs.
Guessing that might be where they used to hook up horses. Not sure.
The Lincoln County Historical Society and Museum of Pioneer History encourages you to ignite your enthusiasm for Oklahoma history. This is a great small town museum. Admission is free of charge. Of course, donations are always graciously accepted. The building houses well-organized artifacts and historical displays showcasing local history and military heritage. The personal artifacts really give you a glimpse into what early life was like in Oklahoma. There's a wonderful military presence honoring local veterans, complete with their uniforms, photographs, and other distinguished honors adorning the museum walls. If you love learning about the wild history of the territory before Oklahoma statehood, there's a room dedicated for that as well. More about a notorious lawman that called this area home later in this video. Stay tuned. If you venture upstairs, you can walk through a one-room schoolhouse and doctor's offices. It really makes you appreciate the modern advances in technology.
Looks like they're having a little tea party patrol.
I don't know what this humming or alarm sound is. I could never figure it out, and it was only in this part of the museum that I heard it. Almost sounds like I'm on a train or at a depot.
Some of the farm equipment. The wire that fence the west, donated by Stan Farrar of Chandler. There were a lot of different types of barbed wire. I think that's a picture of where I just climbed up to. Hard to see with the glare. Those are those stairs. It's the rifle team. They're sitting on the stairs I just climbed. Says this flag with 46 stars was for Oklahoma statehood November 16th, 1907.
Fun fact, Chandler was purposely located at the geographic center of Lincoln County near a water supply called Indian Spring, which is now a city park. We'll visit there in a little bit. The post office was established on September 21st, 1891, and the city was named for Assistant Secretary of the Interior, George Chandler. The museum contains a little gift shop filled with Route 66 information and souvenirs. Make sure you check out this museum when you're visiting Chandler, Oklahoma. After leaving the museum, I headed over to Indian Spring. In 1992, the Oklahoman article entitled Chandler's Indian Spring. The statue, titled A Friend, was donated by the Indian Spring chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. It stands guard over Indian Spring in Chandler. I could not find a photograph of what this statue looked like at one time. But I did find an article in the Oklahoman dated November 13th, 1995. It says Chandler's 10 Indian lost his head and got knocked off his pedestal and wound up with one left foot instead of two. After those disgraces, it appears he's gone forever from Chandler's landscape. The metal and concrete statue in Indian Springs Park was pulled from its base and broken by vandals who left him lying on his back on the ground and rode off his head in mid-October. Police Chief Mel Roberts said the statue must have been pulled down with a stout rope in the dark of night, and there are no leads to solving the crime. The article goes on to say the chapter would like to replace the statue if possible. They'd like one just like the old one. They admit it isn't likely. I'm not going to read you the entire article, but I will put the information in the description box if you want to go find it and read it for yourself. The local DAR chapter members constructed a teepee-shaped mesh and settle shelter over the spring and landscaped the park.
Little sign right there. Ooh, it's green, really green. Do you see some little tadpoles in there?
Indian Spring was a council ground for Indian tribes and was in the center of Indian hunting grounds. It was also used as a campsite for early freighters and other travelers passing through the area. In 1891, it became Chandler's first water supply. The little park is not directly on Route 66, but it is Chandler and it's not far from Route 66 if you want to see it.
Interesting. Somebody has put water bottles up there. And how they got up there. How they climbed it. Interesting.
Since it's been 30 years, I'm guessing the statue entitled A Friend will never be replaced, sadly. Before leaving town, I knew there was one more stop I needed to make.
U.S. Deputy Marshal, March 21st, 1944 to April 13th, 1926.
Frontier Peace Officer. He was a lawman who served as Deputy United States Marshal and was a good friend and business partner with famous lawman Bill Tugman. Brown was a member of the Dodge City Peace Commission and sat for the famous photo of the group of noted lawmen and gunfighters that included Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson. Brown is seated at the far right. Brown's marker was unmarked for years, but a rude marker is on his grave now.
I'm not going to be able to read that. William Matthew Tigman, July 4th, 1854 to November 1st, 1924. Something about he was born in Fort Dodge, Iowa, was soon moved to Atchison, Kansas. As a young man, he was a buffalo soldier. I read it all and forgot to hit the record button.
Pause now if you would like to read the inscription. Tilghman was a career lawman, gunfighter, and politician in Kansas and Oklahoma during the late 19th century. Tilghman was a Dodge City Marshal in the early 1880s and played a role in the Kansas County seat wars. In 1889, he moved to Oklahoma, where he acquired several properties during a series of land rushes. While serving as Deputy U.S. Marshal in Oklahoma, he gained recognition for capturing the notorious outlaw Bill Doolin and helping to track and kill the other members of the Doolin's gang, which made him famous as one of the Oklahoma Three Guardsmen, along with Chris Madsen and Heck Thomas. If you enjoy Old West history, then stop by the cemetery and pay your respects when visiting Chandler, Oklahoma. I always enjoy my time when I'm visiting Chandler.
That is going to do it for this episode. Thanks for coming along with me. Do you like my new hat? I got it at the SEBA station. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now.